Esports, though, game number 2, it has actually started. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's look to jump in here shortly. Not just yet, because we want to keep looking at us and how beautiful we are as people.
Yes.
All right, I think it is ready, though. We got game number 2, Trademark Esports taking on Stay Green. Let's take a look. All right, so here we go. Trademark Esports, of course, the Legion side. Stay Green, the Hellborn side, and already at the locking stage. Fade, Keeper of the Forest, blind banned by tdM. Wild Soul, and look at that, Moon Queen, blind banned by Stay Green. So you also talked about how actually Lions defeated Complexity there, but they actually did with Moon Queen as well.
Yep.
In that game. So again, just a hero that talk about a go-to carry.
Yeah, and I believe that Stay Green actually first picked Moon Queen last game too, and they're now in second position. Don't want to deal with that, and then also ban out the Wild Soul. So I like those blind bans a lot. Fade Keeper from Legion, they actually start out the locks with Tempest. Quick lock, so both these teams are very, very fast in their decision-making as far as what they want to draft. So Tempest, Parasite right after that, and both very strong locks to start things out.
Yeah, Melons, of course, spending a little bit of extra time here to think about this one. But Bubbles is going to be the follow-up. Trademark Esports, quick response. So look at that, Wretched Dragon, Gemini. Yeah, that's usually considered a very trollish ban, though, or lock, excuse me. Gemini, though, I know you, Trough. You've gone through your Gemini phase of playing this hero in TMM and whatnot. Anything? I mean, competitive value?
No, none.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Can't not compute.
What about before the nerfs?
Oh yeah.
What about before the bug?
He would just get banned every single game. It'd be like Solstice right now.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, WZA about that. Ooh,
Shout out to Aaron.
Last lock going to come out here from Melons, but yeah, whenever you see a lock like that, it's a case of, why not just throw this random one in here? Draconis is going to be the final lock actually from Swinno, so that's definitely something that we could expect to see as a go-to carry option, of course, especially with the Moon Queen being banned up, and especially with the Draconis in there, wouldn't be surprised to even see a Silhouette now banned by SG even. Perhaps tdM. We'll see, though. Plague Rider is going to be the first ban, though, coming up from Trademark.
Yeah,
I'm
trying to think if they locked up something crazy, too, if something could have gone down. So, like, tdM takes, like, Bubbles, and you go Wretched and that. Yeah, I don't know. It could have panned out a little bit differently, but they go the safer lock of Draconis. But
yeah,
Plague Rider to start things out, Zephyr to follow from Stay Green.
Yeah, so if they went something like a Rampage lock here.
Yeah, but Rampage is OP, so
that's
like,
true.
We'd have to go with something like Raw.
Like Aminar. Okay, a little bit more respectable. Yeah. Yeah, so with only those 4 heroes being kind of eligible, quote-unquote, yeah, it would have been interesting. But, again, goes with the Draconis, so really 5 of those 6 heroes are strong options, to say the least. Plague Rider, Zephyr, Tundra, Pebbles. So far, Engineer, the last one from tdM. And Stay Green, they are going to go with... Thinking about it.
I'm actually surprised, to be honest, that the Respect ban of Deadwood has not come out yet. Where is Deadwood, by the way, in the portraits?
Yeah, Strength on the Legion side, I want to say.
There he is. He's right next to Devourer. Yeah, I'm actually surprised because it was, even though towards the mid-game he, like, basically AFK'd in the woods, but then again, so did 9 other heroes in the game. Like, there was really nothing going on. And it really did, like I said, it really did create a lot of space. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm kind of curious as to why Swinmelons just banned Glacius right there, as we see a very fast pickup of Ophelia from tdM. So pretty much banning one of the best counters against Ophelia, especially if you run a jungle yourself, because if Ophelia tries to be aggressive in your jungle, you have a Glacius that helps your jungle, keep him out of your jungle, and actually screws over Ophelia. So very curious about that ban.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing that you could think about is, well, if I don't ban it, what if tdM takes him first? Then I can't really pick Ophelia into that at the same time. So I don't know. It goes both ways. It's kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah, it is interesting. But Stay Green, they're going to think about again their first couple of picks right here. But leaving the Ophelia open in general, they rarely make them do everything here to get to the first pick stage. But sure enough, did. Silhouette Aluna, however, are going to be the pickups by Stay Green. So that kind of makes that Draconis pick there in the lock pool. Okay, so. Yeah, we're not going to go for Draconis. We're going to go Silhouette instead. Now tdM can feel pretty comfortable about maybe going Draconis themselves. So, not going a carry option here could be very possible from tdM. You know, something like a support, I guess, Engineer's Band. So you got, hell, Empath. Empath seems to work very well with, especially Draconis. So
that is for sure. I totally agree with you. Also, Andromeda would work, I think, quite nicely as well. With the lineup that the SG has so far, and they do go the Empath. Yes, I like it a lot. Pharaoh also picked up as their suicide hero, most presumably, but something could change. They could also go Pharaoh mid and then pick up another suicide in Bubbles or Wretched Hag.
Yeah, you like that Pharaoh pick too, really, because you think Tempest. I mean, if Staging is going to go Tempest, which is very likely here, then you got another quote-unquote counter. You know, we already have Ophelia with the Skeleton Kings. You now got Pharaoh with the Wrath of the Pharaoh, so definitely strong pickups there from tdM, kind of assuming what's going to happen, and that's what you got to do with the lockpick in general, though, of course. You got to think ahead, and obviously both of these captains in Swinamelt and My Nuts, they're very, very experienced when it comes to knowing how to work this lock pool here. So Stay Green going to think about the last one, though.
I think Meraxis would work out really well here.
Yeah.
I don't think that tdM at all would pick up Parasite, because it would be silly to pick up. I was actually thinking Torture as well, but it'd be silly to pick up both Ophelia and Parasite. Like, how would you lane that? You can't really have a suicide Ophelia nor a suicide Parasite. It just wouldn't work out. So they could easily pick up Tempest here, and then go with that. But I think SG is going to have some kind of aggressive lineup. They go Draconis. They want to secure that late game with Draconis. But I think most definitely Parasite's going to be picked here, and we could see an aggressive trial with Torture, Aluna, Parasite, Silhouette mid, and then maybe Bubbles or Hag. Long lane, and Bubbles or Hag mid. So they have a lot of options, actually.
Yeah, what do you feel about the Draconis pick, though? I mean, you can safely assume that Stay Green wouldn't go Draconis, although, granted, I guess they could try to troll tdM and go Draconis themselves if they didn't pick it up, but it seems like, to me, that's almost a little bit of a too quick of a Draconis pick there, that Stay Green probably wouldn't have gone it, but
I don't think it really honestly matters. I think, regardless, Stay Green's going to go Parasite, and if they go Draconis, they're kind of screwing themselves over at the same time. I mean, it would be pretty silly. You could also run, I guess, Hag as a farmer and support him. It sounds crazy, but you could do it. And, I just don't think there's any reason to risk it if you're SG. So I don't think it really matters that tdM picked up Draconis that early, but I do agree with you. They could have waited.
Well, so for this final pick now, this is kind of interesting, actually. What are they going to do?
I would think Bubbles here.
Bubbles? Okay.
Yeah. Now, they could go an aggressive tri-lane as well against, in the long lane. But if Parasite is in their own woods and SG transitions, then Ophelia would just get kind of forced out and then wouldn't be able to farm anything. So I think they're going to take the safer route. They actually go Tempest. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I mean, you talked about this with complexity. Is this possible pseudo tri-lane aggressive with Tempest middle?
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, Zaya is going to be playing Tempest, of course, so
very well could be a Tempest mid, Pharaoh bottom, tri-lane Draconis, Empath, Ophelia top, or the other way around. Pharaoh top, tri-lane, pseudo tri-lane Draconis, Ophelia, Empath in their short lane.
Let's get it on.
We'll see. We'll see what Trademark does, more so on their side as far as Stay Green is concerned. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily 100% certain either, but, well, maybe it is a little bit more obvious at the same time. Torture going to be played by Swinamelt there again, especially he's made the point and does it very well. I mean, he loves this hero, loves to play more in the farming role, so they all five are going to rush down towards the bottom to start things off. tdM only sending 3 so far to the top, and actually it is Empath, Ophelia, and Draconis so far. So we could possibly see that pseudo tri-lane top, Tempest middle, and the Pharaoh bottom. That's what it looks like it is actually going to be here. So
Pharaoh has pulled regen as well, an extra Blightstone for him. And Tempest has what looks like the same exact items Les QQ had when he was soloing Tempest mid as well. So fast bottle, give yourself some extra regen, some clarity. So
2 less mana potions.
2 less, okay. Well, similar. But yeah, you're right.
Saving up a little bit of gold there. Wants to get the bottle a little bit quicker. But yeah, both sides going to be able to get off a Ward of Sight. And actually, look at the bottom lane. A very aggressive Ward of Sight placed by Z-Freak initially behind the tower. Not going to go for the block just yet. Aluna is still sitting nearby, and she is sitting in a camp currently. Okay, she's going to put it at the bottom rune, though. So they're not going to go for a block down here. Obviously, with the setup, it really doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah,
not the biggest deal, especially if they have Parasite in this jungle. It's probably for the better that they don't block it. So we're going to see a vote to pause here, but... So you think Insania, he does actually go boots first on Parasite. You expect to be him on the aggressive jungle, maybe transition when they realize Ophelia's in their own jungle?
I don't think he needs to transition. Like, Silhouette's going to get shut down, but as long as Slicks doesn't die, or at least minimizes his deaths, then I really feel like Stay Green is going to have the better end of this. They have a strong late game in Hag, they have a strong late game in Silhouette, and Parasite's going to be able to roam mid effectively, going to be able to roam bottom effectively too. Even, like, Tempest mid is going to be very gankable for any kind of creep that Parasite gets into. So the way that SG is setting up their lanes is pretty nice. Now I like the way the lane setups from tdM as well, but it's just not as much. Not as much.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we were thinking of like support heroes for tdM with the way the bands went and everything, Empath was definitely one that came to mind. And sure enough, they do go the Empath, and specifically though because of this Empath Draconis combo, man, it is Draconis by himself, of course, can be absurd, but you throw an Empath in there with the as one ability, the ultimate, it is just well, it's game breaking really. So definitely tdM has that to work with, so that's good for them, and it's going to be fun to see how it kind of plays out here. Again, sitting in a pause, so unfortunately going to have to wait just a little bit here to see how we transition into the laning phase now. But yeah, nothing too crafty. Fitsuke does already level up the wall, by the way. So, of course, yeah, I believe, you know, the last time we saw Empath, I believe you mentioned that, how you get asked the question on Empath, level 1, do you go for the wall or the Essence Drain? Or Essence Link, and you prefer the wall, because it could just set up kills so much more effectively, it seems like, so.
Yeah. I mean, I would personally just wait a little bit, but if you're in the aggressive tri lane, I guess, then there's really no reason to get Essence Link.
Yeah.
I think the only time you'd want to get it is if you're supporting someone in the short lane against like a Suicide Russian Hag or something like that, and you just trade auto attacks while draining their life and then giving yourself HP. That'd be fine. Also, though, if it's against the bubbles, it's one of the most annoying heroes to play against as an Empath because you can just take cover and just diminish it completely, immediately. It just gets rid of it automatically, so it's kind of strange.
Well, we do see, of course, coming out of the pause now, getting a better idea of fully how we can expect the laning phase to go. Torture is going the long lane bottom with Parasite in the aggressive jungle. Aluna more than likely going to go to mid to support the Silhouette, I would guess. Maybe even set up a Bloodlust kill on his eye, actually, if he's not careful here, depending on what Parasite gets. He gets the Skeleton King, actually. And they are going to head towards bottom, it looks like. No, he wants to finish off some creeps. Again, they placed a very aggressive ward of sight beyond the tower here at the bottom lane. But Pharaoh, it seems like he's in fairly good spot to not necessarily get caught out. So he does have that pulled up region that you talked about. But Aluna's actually going to come bottom here, not going to go mid. And instead going to assist this Torture at the bottom lane for now. Against the Pharaoh, actually. So yeah, playing aggressive down here.
The important thing, though, is that this long lane is slowly getting lane control. Actually, we do see a little bit of aggression here coming out onto Pharaoh. The stun's coming out. It's not going to be enough to kill him, but it is going to harass him down. He doesn't have a health potion, so yeah, he does have pulled regen, but this is slow HP regen, not fast. So it's not like I pop the health potion, I come back in the lane. I still have to play passively because I'm regenerating life slowly. So, but like I said, the most important thing is that SG is getting lane control down here.
Yep. Tempest does get his... Oh no, it goes boots first, actually. Interesting. I thought I was expecting to see a bottle. The Zai delivering the boots on a Grand Courier, by the way. Still not upgraded. But it does get him the early boots. What do you make of that, actually? Going to boots despite even being in mid of Tempest here.
I think he just wants to just prevent those ganks from happening.
Okay.
Actually, getting a spot right here. The clarity is already stopped, though, from Tempest. Or, sorry, from Parasite. That's got to be pretty annoying. The Elementals do split, so Parasite's going to have to kind of walk away here. And he does get credit for the kill as he pops out of that. But yeah, I think it's just to prevent ganks happening from Parasite. I guess he supposes he doesn't really need the bottle that early on. As long as he has mana or the clarities to pop that deny from the Elementals, it's fine. But he is going to lose out on a lot of mana here. I think he only has 1 clarity left, yeah.
Again, neither team upgrading the courier, by the way. Just noticing that, but once again, I always find that kind of interesting when, especially neither team does the upgrade. But
I find it especially interesting from tdM side, as I was thinking it as well, because they have Empath to buy wards, and then Ophelia. It's not like she really needs the gold early on. Like she can easily afford an upgrade and then get whatever items she needs to after that. But for SG's side, Parasite definitely needs the items early on, and you only have one of the support other than that. So
yeah. So we'll see, and actually to that note as well, Silhouette, she actually won a Guardian Ring in her build with the 4 minor totems and the regen. So looks like to be a Ring of the Teacher, not really going for a bottle, at least early, if not even at all, with the way this game may go. So Slicks, despite being the middle silhouette, no bottle choice on him either, so we might not even see bottles this game, surprisingly enough. Fair in the meantime, with the bottom lane, a little bit of pressure coming out, and this could be close. Actually, Mummy Walls go up right there, blocking a little bit. The power throw already connecting, trying to dodge a little bit more. 5 seconds on that power throw once again. If Pharaoh's not careful here, he eats some trees. Is it going to be enough of a regen? Parasite still chasing. Power throw coming out. It is going to connect. Still not enough for the kill, but finally the auto attack comes through, and Insania will pick up the Bloodlust kills. I mean, Limp tried, man. He tried to survive right there, but it just wasn't going to happen. Great job by the Hellborn team. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Silhouette, can she trigger grapple away in time? Yes, she can. She's able to pour it out just in time, and she will survive. So good job for State Green right there.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Ophelia is farming pretty nicely in the jungle so far compared to Parasite. Obviously, Parasite, he did get credit for the Bloodlust, though, so that's going to greatly increase his gold per minute. But Parasite already Ghost Marches, speaking of, actually.
Yeah, you go one for the boots first, of course, and upgrading those into the quick Ghost Marchers. This can, it's not guaranteed by any means, but this can definitely be more of a route of it earlier on Codex. Of course, splitting up the Ghost Marchers with the Punch Daggers and forming a Codex out of that. So we'll see if that's a route perhaps Insania chooses to go for, depending on how the game goes. But by the way, going back to this bottom lane real quickly, I mean, look at Swindle's farm. It's actually been pretty damn good. Right now he has 21 and 14, which is up there with the best in the game. And of course, well, he actually didn't get the assist. Wow, that is interesting. Didn't get the assist. So I guess, yeah, that was more so a Luna and Parasite. But still, he's farming just under 300 gold per minute currently. And then meanwhile, yeah, Feral being played by Limp, of course, really getting nothing, though, as a result of the situation. But Insania on Parasite, we mentioned last week we got the chance to watch him, and it was all 3 games he happened to play. We saw, sure enough, he is playing it here again and doing it very well once again, at least to start. So more good news for State Green. And Draconis, actually, in the meantime, he does finish that Ring of the Teacher and is working on the Steam Boots now. Noob G's farm, it is 23-9 up here. It, too, seems like it's going pretty good at least. So, but some good notes here for either side, really.
Yeah, one other thing to note, too, is that, you know, they try land aggressively on tdM. And look at the ward placements from Fitsky. He actually places the second one. First one on the top rune. The second one is, like, in the jungle of the Hellborn team. So I think that's just a preventative measure of, like, if Parasite comes back into the jungle, we want to be able to gank him and see him. Action mid lane.
Yeah, we're going to see Tempest ultimate. No, we're not, because there's a lot of... Yes, he is going to ultimate, actually. Can he go for the kill on Luna? Maybe Silhouette as well. Holy crap! Sai making a double tap here. He will before he dies. That is... oh, my God, I can't believe that happened. Parasite is going to be able to run away in the end, but wow, Zai making some big plays right there with his illusions, or the elementals, I should say, as well as the ultimate, and gets a double tap before he dies, most importantly.
Very, very well played by Zai, and it wasn't really like a terrible move by SG, but they just kind of got caught out of position, specifically Luna. Z-Freak, he needed to play out. Obviously, Silhouette doesn't have a stun that middle in the map. You can't latch onto a tree and then expect to cancel that ultimate that open and that open up an area. So it needed to be the Luna, and Z-Freak just got caught into the ultimate. So that was, if there is anyone to blame, it's him, but I would more focus on just a great play by Zai.
Yeah, very, very well played on his part, and again, wow, I thought support was coming or something like that, but no, there's no support, so I thought for sure he's just dead. No, he turns it around, got the double tap. Obviously died in the end, but hey, you get a double tap, you stay alive for both those kills. Big, big plays indeed. So definitely a big swing. Empath right here. Ooh, the Ophelia heal coming out. Wanted to make sure the dot was ticking Empath down, so it might have been pretty close. I don't know if it would have been enough for the kill, but just in case. And it does help keep her alive. But Ophelia, of course, is going to maybe try to find this Wretched Hag now and do something to her. Of course, with the blink, though, she should be able to get away, as Ophelia is out of mana herself. So, but Wretched Hag, Kizu, again, not having the greatest of time up here. It's kind of expected with the lane set up. He does hit level 5, though. But Draconis at the same time, Noob G is, as like last game for that matter, having a good start. And actually, Infest coming out from Parasite on the Catman champion here. That was controlled by Ophelia. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Pharaoh and Tempest come together to take out Slicks, actually. Wrath of the Pharaoh was used, I'm guessing. No, actually, it wasn't. So they just happened to catch him before he could get away. So good job coming out, and they get a kill in the middle lane once again onto Slicks.
Yeah, Slicks dying now for the second time, and that's not good at all. He will be able to recover, and I do think that as a farmer, Torture is underrated as a hero. I think with farm, this hero can do great things. They've already pressured this bottom tower. It goes down right now. They specifically let the Hellborn take it so that it applies more gold to the rest of the team. Smart move right there. Top lane is getting pressure. Hag is up sitting here behind the woods. We might see response. I hope to see response from State Green, actually.
Torture doesn't have a TP, neither does Silhouette, neither does Parasite. No one has TP.
So no response will be in the works.
Yeah.
Oh, great wall by Fitsky, and that's going to force Casey to blink away. He'll be fine for now, but this tower will go down.
Yeah, this could definitely be a fight chance here for Stay Green, but again, you got to have those homecoming stones, and unfortunately they do not. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Parasite running into Tempest, actually. Parasite chasing him down with the leech. Does not. Oh, yes, he does have Face Hug, using it right there. The Ghost March is active. One more auto attack, maybe. No, it's not going to be enough. Tempest running this around. Doesn't have an ultimate. It's a nice snipe with a Death Lotus from Slicks, though. The tail end just barely catching him and getting credit for the kill right there. So very well played. Is also going to true grapple forward and get the hell on out of there. So it ends up being a kill onto Zyplane. The Tempest, Torturer falling back from the bottom lane. As look at Torturer's farm, though, you talked about it can be underrated, man, and when he gets some good farm, he is now upwards of 413 gold per minute. He just picked up a major totem, Steam Boots ran the teacher, power supply. So all these builds up into what you assume to be a tablet of command now.
Yeah.
So
especially up against the Pharaoh, it's kind of paramount to just pick up that item. And yeah, he's farming really well. And he will make a huge impact in these team fights, I'm sure. And really great job by Slicks getting that tail end of that Death Lotus to actually connect. And with tdM pushing the top tower, that's going to free up farm for Hag. So I would have liked to, if you're pushing up that top tower, at least stay there. Like, get some wards in the offensive jungle and stay there. Farm out the resources in the Hellborn jungle. Don't leave. If they do leave, they need to make something else happen. And it does look like they are pressuring mid. So that's good for them.
now, what do you make of this? Not even upgrading boots, going straight into a tablet of command here to Zai. Playing Tempest. They're going to push this middle tower, by the way. Ooh, the deny attempt from Silhouette. That's actually an illusion now. And, of course, tdM will realize that quickly. But going a very, very early tablet here does Tempest.
I think it's fine. I think, like, Tempest is one of the few heroes I hate to upgrade my boots early on. I just feel like it's never effective. Like, maybe Ghost Marcher so that you can maneuver yourself around to get a perfect ultimate, but it's still, even then, just really not necessary. I just like to get the core items onto him and upgrade the boots later if I have the extra gold. Like, maybe even just Striders would be fine, but yeah, I think it's fine.
Middle tower going down the secondary one, so a big push. Parasite actually in some trouble. He's going to infest the wall. He's trying to at least. He finally does. He uses the infest right away. The empath wall's kind of blocking him here. But in the end, he should be able to get away. The wind walk going to last for another 8 seconds. He should be fine. Very close for Parasite there, but in the end he stays alive. But again, the tower, secondary tower, already going down. Parasite actually going to find Ophelia now is still around. Actually, she's going to Minotaur stun Parasite right there. Ophelia will barely stay alive, it looks like. Silhouette, the Bat Blast connects. Good job by Keizu, just the tail end catching Ophelia, and does pick up the kill. That was very close, but it does get the kill, so good job. Again, though, secondary tower already pushed in favor of tdM despite that kill happening.
Yeah, that was pretty sloppy by Minas to stay up there that long. Like, yeah, he almost got away, but there was just no reason to sit up there with that much greed and just farm the enemy jungle like that for so long. So, but good job by Keizu. Yeah, the mid towers are especially important and you know, having and providing map control for your team. So, I definitely think that the tier 2 tower at least should have been defended, if not the tier 1 in mid as well. So they're giving up these towers. Are they getting very much out of it in return? I don't know. Like, they've pushed bottom. Torture's been farming bottom for quite some time, but his farm has actually gone down. It was at like 420 for a moment there, but has dropped down to actually just below 390 or around 390. So they're not. I feel like they're not really getting anything or exchanging anything for these towers. Empath, he is very out of position.
So what is Fitsky doing?
No TP on him at all. He does block out Parasite for the time being, trying to do some juking, but I don't know what Fitsky was doing down there. And dies. It looks like he was placing. Okay, he didn't place anything. He wasn't placing a lane ward or anything. In fact, didn't even have wards on him, so not sure what Fitsky was doing there.
Oh, and actually Parasite taking over one of the Ophelia Minotaurs, going to stun the creeps with it, but he's just going to run away, and obviously that could be a very annoying thing for Ophelia, the fact that her creeps could just be taken over like that by Parasite, and then eventually used and killed later on. So, yeah, no clue what Fitsky was doing, but hey, what's done is done, I guess, so he's dead. Energizer, did I just see that? Yeah, Energizer on Parasite, by the way. So we went Ghost Marchers into Blood Chalice into now an Energizer. Again, I keep reiterating, this hero, man, even on the same player, we see so many different... Oh, the Illusion Silhouette's going to be caught there by the Wrath of the Pharaoh. So I guess that... Oh, nope, the Region Room just going to sit there still. They are probably going to go get it, but... He was hoping that was the real Silhouette. Clearly it was not, unfortunately. So good right idea from Limp, I mean, you could say, but unfortunately not the real one. They want to try to maybe go on the bottom lane, though. Torture needs to be careful not to hang around too long, realizing quickly that he probably needs a tablet here to help him keep him alive. Not even necessary. So, yeah, he'll be fine, but, yeah. Bottom tower is going to be pushed in now, it looks like, by Trademark Esports. we'll see how much they can do here.
Well, the spam ability from a Luna and Torture alone is pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about really anything just at this moment because obviously the Wrath of the Pharaoh hook was used. So even then, he still has his push book. They spotted out Draconis in the Hellborn jungle because Keizu was up there farming, and I'm pretty sure he saw him. So yeah, the spam ability as it approaches mid-late game, when you see some huge pushes, that's why I'm kind of surprised that Torture or just the team in general decided to let those 2 towers in mid go, because they do have very good counter push between those 2 heroes specifically.
I want to get your thoughts on, this is kind of more of a hindsight thing now at this point, but, going back to the laning phase a little bit here, this Torture specifically, how he built, he actually chose to go for the max out of the E first and then the Q, didn't even touch Impalement until he was forced to a level 9, really. Do you like that choice?
I think as a farming Torture, it's a better route to go. As support Torture, I always love to go the Impalement and the Chain Reaction. I usually don't get my Agonizing Bonds for quite some time. But as a farming Torture, I think it's important that you have the ability, like I just talked about, to counter push and spam out people with your high mana pool. So I think it's a smarter choice here as a farming Torturer.
Ancients being cleared up by Draconis right here. Looks like they are some double stack Ancients. He's only level 9, doesn't even have the Cataclysmic Assault just yet, actually. But so not necessarily doing these the quickest, but he is doing them nonetheless, and definitely can. His goal for me does continue to be up there. Does he? I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention if he bought one or not.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. There's nothing on the courier. We're what, 14.5 minutes in? I would say no.
I would expect it to be, honestly.
Think so? I mean, he has Steam
then
Boost,
again,
Standard, Ring of Teacher, and Mystic Vestments.
Yeah, you're right. He does have several build-up items, so
yeah,
perhaps not.
Not just yet.
Like maybe if his GPM was like 400, 430 or something like that.
Maybe, yeah. But it's not. 360 gold per minute. So yeah, I don't think he has a Blessed Orb yet, and we probably would have noticed that by now. So, so still a little bit of ways off from the Null Stone, but of course, other than him, you got a Tempest, Zai in that middle lane. He went the Tablet route first, and his Steam Boots then, and now he actually just purchased his Mighty Blade. So that's going to be good for him, having those items. And looking at the Hellborn team, Parasite can still stop it at the Shrunken Head, right? Yep. The Sign still goes through, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Parasite, other than that, nothing, but they do got Parasite, and that definitely can be effective, so. Oh, look at a great tablet right there, catching Torture. He does have a tablet himself. Can he use it in time? Nice wall coming up from Vitsky, actually. The Chain CC, and Torture will explode right there. Fair in the meantime, Bumble Wall goes up as the ports come in. Slick's going to be able to port out with the Tree Grapple, but Parasite takes over the creep before he falls, actually. The Ophelia's touch was used from Ophelia, of course, healing up his team, and everyone is still alive. Torture is not buying back because he cannot, of course. You see Insania in that Minotaur still maybe trying to make work of it. This tower is still alive, but with Torture dead especially, it really hurts them. So I don't know if they're going to be able to defend it in the end. It doesn't look like it. This tower will fall. And again, that all started with just a great pick-off on a Torture. Good job with the tablets from Zai.
Yeah, the tablets, but I think the creeps as well from Ophelia did work. And Swindle wanted to wait as long as possible to use that push book, because he doesn't want. The worst thing you can do is use it, and then the Wrath of the Pharaoh ultimate comes in and stops in your track. So he's waiting for that, but you couldn't wait that long enough because you had the Glacial Blast done, which is level 4 from Tempest, and then Ophelia with creeps and minions on top of you as well. So just a good overall pick-off from tdM.
Yeah, and the wall kind of, obviously you can tablet through a wall, but the angle that it was at kind of really screwed up his angle too. So, in the end, if he was to tablet, he might have just gone sideways because of that. So, yeah, it clearly just could not get away, and that definitely results in a tower kill. Tempest is actually invis here in the middle lane. He has an ultimate ready to go. He doesn't really have support nearby, unfortunately, but this could definitely be a kill chance for Trademark if he gets the backup necessary. It just doesn't look like it's going to happen. I mean, he could go for a solo kill, I guess. I mean, he's did it before. He only got 2 for 1. But there he goes. As he opened, there's the minions, there's the ultimate. He's going to go for it. All in, baby. Slicks, he does not have enough mana for the Tree Grapple, and Slicks will end up falling. He's going to get blocked. Great job by Zai, but at what cost right here? Insania coming in. Tablets for the Energizer going to be used by Insania right there on top of the leads. The power, though, I don't even think it hit, actually.
Nope.
It was just out of range. The wall from Fitsuke, and Zai will live. So the solo kill Tempest onto a silhouette right there. Well played.
Very well played. I do have to criticize him just a little bit. I was hoping that he would have used that Meteor as well for some extra damage, because it was getting a little close there, but nonetheless, great play by Zai, and that's huge. I mean, getting a solo pick-off onto the most important hero on your team, namely that Silhouette, is a very, very big deal. Draconis almost has his Null Stone as well, going to have that in 700 gold. Yeah, tdM is looking in a good spot, but they actually are still trailing by nearly 4,000 experience, and the goal is identical.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. I'm actually very surprised by that, honestly.
Draconis, to be honest, isn't farming that fast.
Yeah.
He's not taking off like we would see most Draconi.
Draconi do Energizer, picked up now by Tempest, actually. So he goes the Mighty Blade, but then finishes an Energizer here next in line. So a couple of Energizers this game.
The old Tablet Steam Boots Mighty Blade Energizer build, okay.
Yeah, Zai doing work here on Tempest. Nothing wrong with being unique. That Nullstone, by the way, you're right. I mean, this isn't the fastest farming Draconis. It is still impressive. It is tops in the game still. But it's not the best of the best by any means. There's an Energizer going to be used, by the way. Helping them farm up a little bit, trying to maybe catch somebody, but not going to be able to do so. But yeah, I look at the experience per minute chart, and that's actually, you know, that's where it kind of stands out to you. Ophelia, and then even Pharaoh, and then of course Empath's only level 6 now. But Pharaoh's also only level 8. He's actually been behind quite a bit himself. Hasn't really got many levels, has the limp, so that's definitely where that's adding up.
Z-Freak is down here in his own Ancients trying, like, for the love of God, to find a ward that's not there. So he spent 2 counter wards, and then to add insult to injury, the Pharaoh Rocket was used to block a camp. Now, when I actually watched the last series, not this one, but the last series last week of Complexity versus Lions, the Pharaoh player on Lions, I believe it was Super KGE, literally used, as they said, the Pharaoh Rocket every single time to block the Ancients.
I remember
and
you mentioning that,
uncounterable. Nothing you could do about it.
Yep, other than kill Pharaoh.
Yep.
But yeah, you gotta wonder maybe that's what's happening here. So Z-Freak's just gotta be baffled. And here we go. Speaking of Pharaoh, jumps in right there. Torture in the midst of it all. The impalement up, but Tempest jumps in as well. There comes Draconis. Bat Blast gonna connect, but Torture will fall. Silhouette off to the side now. He's gonna be caught. Tempest doesn't have an ultimate just yet. Has Energizer though. Will he use it? No, he's not gonna just yet. The Dragon Flame gonna miss right there, and Silhouette is on the run. But there's that Energizer. Can Silhouette make a juke right here? She's gonna go for the Homecoming Stone. The wall coming out. There's that Tempest done, and Slicks will fall when it's all said and done. Ophelia is now countering on a Parasite. You see the Energizer coming up from Parasite, though, and he will get away. But that ends up being a 2-for-0 exchange. Both of the kills going to Zai right there on Tempest. And there you see the Nullstone actually just purchased by Draconis on top of all that. Big plays coming up for tdM.
And Torture is just dying too fast. Like, he really, really needs a Shrunken. And I don't know if he's playing so far up. But the thing is, they don't really have someone up there to take, like, all the damage. Like, they don't have a tank or someone to absorb the damage, because all of these heroes are very, very squishy on the Hellborn side. So who do you have up in front? I guess it's supposed to be Torture, but it's clearly not working out. He's the one that was most farmed on your team. Actually is not anymore. It goes to Keizu, who is basically a suicide hag up in the top lane, who started out mid, or at least had the attention to go mid, and then went top against 3, and now is your top farm in the game. Oh, actually, Swinmelons is.
It's close,
barely,
though, yeah.
But he's just dying way too fast, not able to get off all the spells he needs to.
Yeah, and right now you got Trademark Esports, no doubt, in definite control of this game. And again, I think the stats for they still continue to be not really a massive favor by any means, but it's, if anything, again, experience identical. The gold is barely slightly in favor of the Legion team, but it seems like Trademark Esports does have a little bit bigger of a lead than that for whatever reason. But bottom tower push is going to happen here. The secondary. It looks like State Green, they want to make something happen. Parasite going in. Leech going to be used. Not going to really commit, though, so just kind of scaring them a little bit right there as Astrolabe Appeal comes out. And they will be fine for now. So will they actually stay here? It looks like they're going to wait for the next creep wave and kind of reset things. Remember, there is that Empath Draconis combination. Draconis does have that Cataclysmic Assault level 2 with an Empath inside. It will just tear you apart, even with only a Nullstone picked up really in Steam Boots. It'll still do plenty of damage. So the tower is going to fall right here, it looks like, unless we see a deny coming out from State Green. It's not going to be just yet, I guess. Maybe one more creep wave. You talked about earlier. I mean, the creep clearing potential is definitely there, but I don't think State Green's going to really defend this in the end. You have Wretched Egg actually pushing the middle lane, and they're falling back. So going to be a free tower for tdM.
Yeah, they're just giving it up. Wretched Hag, he's really, really close to his Hellflower, and maybe wants that before they kind of initiate some kind of fight. Like perhaps use it to get the Tempest, who's been doing a lot of damage in CC in these team fights.
So, free tower kill, and they're actually going to take what's only just a single set of Ancients right here, but Ancients nonetheless, so kind of spreading out farm. We talked about that Hellflower, though, finally being purchased on Hag. I say finally, but honestly, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Again, when you consider the circumstances that Keizo was in especially, so that's good for them.
It's very good.
Yeah,
22 minutes.
Yeah,
Pretty
22
damn
and a half,
good.
22 minutes. That on top of the Grave Block and Steam Boots, very good indeed. You got a Insania who's actually going to help out himself and getting very close to finishing his second Arcana. I just saw him purchase the Apprentice robe, so. And there's the Scarab, so we'll have a second Arcana now. Just needs the one more, of course. So a couple of Pile Flowers, very possible here in the next coming fight for this game. Shrunken Head is finished on Tempest, but as I talked about earlier, you still have a Parasite who can counter it no matter what with that Face Hug and the Silence. So, still have to keep that in mind. Energizers, man. Another one picked up now on Ophelia, by the way. I think she's had it for a little bit, though, but that's 3 Energizers in this game. This item is... People like it now.
Yeah, I think, honestly, it's... I really feel like it's a one per team kind of item. Like, especially on Ophelia, I just really feel no reason to buy that. I feel like it's kind of throwing away your gold. And could have been purchased on something else, to be honest. Maybe a Bulwark. They don't have a Bulwark yet on the team. He could have... I guess he could still buy a Bulwark. He has a lot of gold on Ophelia. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like one per team is enough, to be honest.
Man, look at Ophelia chasing Torture big time, really by himself, honestly.
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh was coming in. There's a Wrath of the Pharaoh, but Pharaoh realizing very quickly that this was a poor decision. He's going to be completely turned on, and Z-Freak will actually get credit for the kill playing that Aluna. So quick turn onto Pharaoh. You see, there you go. You know, we talk about this as one from Empath. It's not only great offensive utility, but it's great defensive right there, as we see, helping to get away. The Bat Blast was used, but not going to be nearly enough for a kill. Ophelia's still in the run. A great wall from Fitskate coming out. There's the Ophelia's touch as well. Really trying to keep the minions alive, but they are going to clean up the minions in the end. So they got minions, I guess, but still, nonetheless, everyone else staying alive after the Pharaoh kill.
Yeah.
Good chase.
I mean, Kaiser had a good idea. He wanted to try to slow Ophelia and couldn't get in range for the haunt, so he used his Bat Blast. And it didn't work out, but yeah, I still credit him for trying right there. I don't think anything was going to come out of it. Pharaoh
Pat
was
on
dead.
the back.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Pharaoh right there, it wasn't like he initiated like he wanted to. He was actually getting aggressed by a Silhouette at the Ancients and actually used his ulti there to try to escape in an awkward way. But, yeah, just got kind of caught in a sandwich there between Silhouette and the rest of his team.
So Swinnamelons is getting close now to finishing that Shrunken Head. And again, it seems like especially with the start that he had, the impact really hasn't been there.
Yeah.
But with the Shrunken Head, you kind of hope for State Green's sake that it definitely starts coming because they need it. I mean, to be frank, you look at the gold per minute chart now, you have that Draconis. He is getting to that very scary mark. And hell, Tempest continuing to stay up there as well himself. At 400 GPM. Oh, the Wrath of the Pharaoh just going to be missed. I think it might have been tableted even or something pushed it. But Fitskate wall coming out. Wants to finish off Parasite. The stun from the Essence Drain. In comes the Hellfire. And down goes Parasite. So a 1-for-0 exchange right there for Trademark. And they are very likely going to push this now. So this could work out. Well, they are going to get this tower. I do not see Stay Green stopping this. And this will be the last outer tower, actually, to go down in favor of Trademark here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Torture had such an amazing start, and just honestly, maybe it's just the team, the team composition, the team makeup. Like I mentioned, they're all very squishy, and not only just him, but honestly, Slicks, his farm seems to keep going down, 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 down. Like I don't see it improving. In fact, I see it getting worse.
Yeah.
I've seen him to 310. Now I see him at 280, and yeah, just not able to do anything this game.
Well, the base is being pressured. Tempest, or not Tempest, but Parasite is up in about 5 seconds here. So they will be full force as Stay Green. Shrunken Head is just finished on Torture. Great wall again from Fitskate, kind of blocking off Torture as he's maybe thinking about initiating right there. But no choice really after that. So the tower not falling just yet, and actually Trademark Esports, they are very likely, in fact, there we go. They are going to start falling back. They are going to run right past the Ward of Sight, so Stay Green notices this, but damage definitely done by Trademark Esports already. Again, overall, it's not too crazy. I mean, it's only a 3,000 goldie now for tdM, and in fact, still remains to be an experienced lead for Stay Green after all that, about 2,000 themselves. But again, the big picture, especially with that Draconis and even the Tempest being up there, very good. And you said it, I am baffled by that myself. Of where's Slicks' farm?
It just keeps getting worse.
1, 4, and 2. He's under 300 now. Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to get it back up here now. Parasite was playing pretty aggressively right there, maybe trying to find... they don't even have that tier 1 tower up there killed. In fact, it's hardly taking even any damage, as they are grouping up here to maybe do something. Draconis did just pick up his Shrunken Head as he TP'd bottom to farm that. And maybe that's their cue to push this, as they won't have Draconis ready to go for another 15 seconds for that port's on cooldown.
Here we go. Energizer even used right there. Maximizing their damage, I guess. No, but the tower will fall, so If it increased attack speed, then that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really see the ultimate point of that. But hey, they get the tower kill. As you mentioned, that first tower still being there for this whole time, but they get it, so they'll gladly take that. Pharaoh was kind of counter-pushing the middle lane, but he's going to start pulling back. And Parasite cleaning up the bottom lane. He actually face-hugged right there, one of the creeps. So I guess he could just figure he's not going to be needing to use that here in the near future, just helping him farm a little bit. But he's trying his best to finish that Hellflower here. As far as Insania goes, playing the Parasite. Slicks, what do you think? Is Slicks going to be going for the Shrunken Head here? I mean, he went the Warhammer first. Not that that's like that rare by any means, but or do you think it could be just more of a? Well, I guess he would be able to get the Shieldbreaker at this point if he really wanted that. So yeah, probably going to be Shrunken, I guess.
I think it has to be a Shrunken Head at this point. He would have enough for it here in about what 400 gold, 300 gold or something, and he really needs it specifically against like the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Hook in. You wall him, then you pop the Shrunken so that the Hellfire doesn't do anything.
He goes Shieldbreaker.
He goes Shieldbreaker.
Shieldbreaker level 2.
Oh my god. I don't know about this.
Oh wait, it's a level 1? No, it's level 2, yeah. So that's what I was getting at. I mean, now, to be fair, you do bring this up from time to time. It's a case of you are so far behind, especially in your role, where it's like, you just need damage, man.
But, I mean, they're not that far behind as a team. Like, in fact, they're leading in experience. I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty careless and pretty greedy build. I suppose if he can keep his distance, but I don't know. That's very risky to me. I mean, I love Shieldbreaker on Silhouette, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it's a very risky pickup.
There's the double Energizer coming out here from tdM. They use it one after the other to get there as fast as possible. We're going to see some jumps, not just yet. Dracona still has that ultimate ready to use. Here we go, Torture jumping in. The ultimate is activated. Wall coming out, denying the tower, but there goes the Golden Dragon. The ultimate's activated with the Cataclysmic Assault. Pharaoh Mummy Wall in the background. Bat Blast in the background from Wretched Hag, actually burning down Tempest. Tempest Wall falls, Parasite assist. Pharaoh's also going to die, but Parasite is dead. Silhouette was able to sit in the background, though, and do some good damage, it seemed like. So at that fight, at least, it was able to pay off somewhat, and it does get Trademark Esports to ultimately fall back, as it ends up being what was it, 2-for-1? No, Keizu did die. He bought back though, so they may want to do Kongor actually. I don't know. They're heading towards that area. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it quick enough, though. The Hellborn Couriers here. Maybe they were expecting the Legion team to be doing it for some reason, but no, they're going to go in
themselves. They want to do that, and this is kind of risky. Now, Legion team doesn't have any vision. That's a good thing for them, but yeah, they're rushing here. The Impalement's up. It is finally level 4 now, as Torture is level 15, but they just feel it, I think. As in, Tvinsky's actually over here trying to do some checking. Yeah, they don't have wards, but they just felt something happening as they saw them come from mid and just kind of rushed towards Kong. So Tempest is up. He still has the ultimate to use. And I feel like that was honestly a little bit of a hasty ultimate from Limp. It just seemed like it wasn't placed correctly. Kind of disjointed him from the rest of his team. And he just got turned on very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, not that this, again, Limp is a great player, as all these players honestly in this game are, of course, but Limp isn't necessarily a feral player. This is more of a suicide role player, so something like Zai would be playing. You kind of wonder a little bit if that may be having an impact too, but because Pharaoh and landing those Wrath of the Pharaohs and whatnot, he is a unique hero in that sense. So just something to kind of think about. But they are going to go right to this top lane. Look at that. They don't even care about the creep wave or anything. They go right for the melee racks, and SG quickly responds. So a little bit of damage coming out, but not a whole lot. It's going to start regenning. That was a very hasty move by tdM, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That seems like it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know. Hellflower is up on the Parasite right now. I would say maybe if you had like more damage on Draconis, you can get away with that. But they're going to have to wait for their wave to do something really crafty like that. And the thing is, it's not like really SG has any humongous ultimates that they have to wait on cooldown. Like maybe the Bat Blast, which is actually going to be up in 9 seconds. But other than that, everything comes up relatively quickly.
Yeah. You see the bottom lane. There is some creep push in favor of Stay Green here, so maybe that'll be enough of a distraction if they can hold this out long enough for tdM to fall back. But here we go. Tempest jumping in. Stuns Torture, but a quick tablet forward. And he will be fine. So possible initiation, not going to happen. By the way, Tempest has a portal key. I don't even know if we mentioned that, but he actually eventually did go that, of course. So they have that jump in tool. Now, once again, you still have Parasite who can deal with that. And you also, as you mentioned, the Hellflower pickup on him going into this fight is going to be huge, of course. So
look at the creep clearing potential.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It seems like, why does tdM feel like they need to really push here is my question. Yeah, I don't know if they do.
I don't know. I mean, they were losing out on levels slightly, but they should have known before, like this point, before the last push, they were greatly up in gold at least. And with Noob G being on Draconis, just simply it's another one of those cases of he will farm faster than Silhouette. Like, the Draconis farms faster than Silhouette. Barrier is up, though.
There's the As-1. They use it on Draconis. So this is a commitment here for the Legion team. Chain Reaction's missing, actually. Wrath of the Pharaoh coming to catch us 2 heroes. The Mummy Walls go up. There's that Cataclysmic Assault. Torture doing plenty of damage in the background, though. Tempest is falling. He will get the kill. The Torture first, though. The Cataclysmic Assault again doing plenty of damage. The Zai Tempest ult have been doing absolutely nothing. But hey, it's a taunt, if anything. They are going to start falling back now. Everyone is up here on the Legion side. Buybacks are happening. Silhouette is still dead, though. She cannot buy back as she died throughout that. Torture buys back, but a great Mummy Wall from Limp. Here comes the HoN, though, from Wretched Act. But now Torture getting caught by a wall here from Fitske. Can't Swin'emel's escape. It looks like he will be able to. Aluna is dropping, though. The Tormented Soul connects, and Aluna may fall very likely. Chain Reaction Stone will stun 1. No, but Aluna will survive, it looks like. Torture going back in, at least deactivating the Null Stone, but they should be able to take out the melee racks now. Again, especially with Silhouette dead, not much that the Hellbourne team's going to be able to do to hold us off. Torture, very ballsy move here. He will tab it away. In comes Wretched Hag, though. A lot of buybacks being used all over the place. That's a trick going to be used by Empath. Trying to stay alive. Draconis falls, though. A great pickoff for the Hellbourne team that they will gladly take. Thunder Scream on the Empath. She will fall. Now the Mummy Wall goes up from Limp, but he is also caught out by Parasite. Going to use that Hellfire, but probably will end up dying here in the end unless Ophelia sends him back. It's going to be close. There's the port attempt. Is it going to be in time? No, it's not. Down he goes. And now Ophelia, though, is in some trouble. As are they going to chase? No, they're not. Okay, so they get a pushback. Melee Rex did fall, but I think actually State Green came out not too shabby there in the end.
Yeah, a couple things about that. One, that was a really funny ult by Zai. 2, Draconis really man down and kind of screwed over some of his team, specifically Fitske. The Fitske actually had a really, really good wall placed on Swindlemelons, even though his Shrunken Head was activated, and Torture couldn't go anywhere. And even though the ultimate was fading, the As-1 ability on Draconis, I feel like that was the easiest counter kill onto the Torture who had already bowed out, but Noob G ran away and he had full HP, half mana. It was a very, very interesting decision by him. And I think he could have got a really big exchange out of that. Now, SG is kind of rectifying the problem that they had earlier to pick up Congo relatively quickly. And I still gotta say though, and I still stand by it, if you saw Slicks, he died in a matter of seconds.
Yeah,
I didn't see
it, but
did
I
absolutely nothing that fight.
Yeah. Well, again, that's kind of the two sides of it. The earlier fight, it actually worked out. This fight, though, as you just put it, I didn't see myself necessarily, but I believe you. Just got bursted down. So now, actually, more things to note though in that fight. Zai bought back for 1 for tdM, so kind of interesting there. But actually, I believe it was KZ who bought back earlier. So I think Swin'emelons and Z-Freak actually bought back that fight too. So there were several buybacks that were used by even both teams actually. Again, the Zai one I'm actually very curious about. Not sure.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
I think he was over near the Congo area, kind of figured that they would be doing it, but by himself, I mean, he wasn't going to be able to do anything. So, yeah, I don't know if that's what it was for in the end, but I don't think it really accomplished too much. Anyways, so those were used, so got to keep that in mind too. But now this is a case of, so again, Silhouette, she went for this very ballsy DPS build. She does have a token of life now, and with the farm that she's going to start picking up here, will she go for a Shrunken at this rate? I mean, she might actually go for a finish on Geometers first now that I think about it too. So, you can never be too certain, especially with Slicks. We'll see.
I just feel like it's so necessary. I don't know. Now, you do have the token of life to work with, and that's a little bit more... It gives you a little bit more breathing room to go a more liberal build and more greedy build. But before that point, and still just in general, I feel like it's very needed. So, I don't know. We'll see what he does.
Yeah. He's actually using the illusion right here to farm some creeps in the middle lane, getting several creep kills actually. Good job on him. But again, his farm, it still continues to be meh. He actually purchases a portal key right there, so he has the mobility now that you like to see. But again, he is squishy, so he's like jumping in for ganks and whatnot. That's great, but to use that for jumping into team fights, it could be risky at this rate.
I can never get upset about a portal key pickup.
Yeah,
I think it's always so good on him, even without like him being so squishy. As long as you have the ultimate up, it doesn't matter how squishy you are. You can just jump in there, try to attack as fast as you can, spam your spells, and then just press R as your get out of jail free card. So I'm always okay with a portal key pickup.
All right. So Slick's going good there at least. As far as item choice, 4,400 gold saved up on Draconis, by the way. You got to think it just usually is a Savage Mace next in line with the Shrunken and Nullstone already picked up. So how much exactly is that? I forget how much it is altogether. 5,400, that's right. So But again, there's the case then of do you save it for buybacks and whatnot, depending on the situation. So we'll see what Noob G decides to do. Barbed Armor finished on Pharaoh, actually. And Ophelia does, I mean, her GPMs isn't necessarily the highest. It's 280 gold per minute, but her items are really impressive. She's got a lot of team support items. The Barrier Idol, the Energizer you mentioned earlier, you may not be a huge fan of.
See, I kind of have to disagree. Like, I feel like her items aren't that impressive for the time it is. It's like it's nearly 40 minutes. The Energizer, again, I still like. You already had one on Tempest. It's a very, very cheap pickup. So it's not like, wow, she has a big. It's like 1,400 gold, I think, altogether. It's very, very cheap. The only big, like, notable item is really Barrier, because the Astrolabe, you normally pick it up around like 8 minutes on Ophelia, if not before, if you're farming really well and get a fast power push. So that's expected. So basically, since then, disregarding the Energizer, she's gotten a Barrier Idol. I feel like she could have way more than that. Now she has pulled up 2,000 gold, but I really feel like she could have gotten a little bit of some better item pickups. Specifically, I think Soul's Bork is being neglected here. And in fact, neither team has one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just remember when Soul's Bulwark came onto the scene, it was picked up by everyone.
Oh,
remember
you had to pick it up. It
Yeah.
was a case of you had to pick it up because the other team's getting it, is what it came down to.
Yeah,
There was no choice, so.
But it helps you with tower pushes, too, because
Yeah.
it's 1,900 gold. No, it's 2,000, I think.
It's 2,000 now.
Yeah, it's 2,000 and provides... oh, here we go.
Here we go. Wrath of the Pharaoh does connect on the Torture X. Torture was going to get a cut out, and Torture will fall right there. He does not have a buyback. That is exactly a pick that Trademark Esports was looking for. So again, Torture really has not had a big impact this game. Gets caught off here, and we do see Trademark Esports is going to take advantage, as they should. Remember, there is a token of life on Silhouette here, so I guess that's a saving grace kind of for Stay Green. But Torture is dead for another 50 seconds, and without him, they lose a lot of just overall, team damage presence. You see Silhouette, she's putting in auto attacks, and even without Torture, they still have some pretty good creep clearing potential, so they are going to keep it somewhat difficult here for tdM. And if they stop this next creep wave push, they will actually buy enough time for him to come up, it looks like. So it's about stopping this next creep wave, and whether or not tdM will even try to commit into this.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the Savage Mace up on a Draconis. He can use his ultimate right now if he wants to.
Oh, Silhouette going ballsy actually, but there comes a wall from Fiske. However, the follow-up from Menchik on top of that, but there's a cataclysmic call. The Tempest ultimate is going to be canceled, but down goes Silhouette, but of course going to come right back up. The token of life, is it going to matter though? Torture is still down for 10 seconds. Silhouette will fall, double tap for Noob G. So, well, Stay Green makes a decision for them, and it does not pay off at all. Silhouette does buy back. Torture is going to be coming back up, but the racks fall. Here comes Parasite, then quickly burn out Feral, and Silhouette will pour it out with the illusion. Torture stun will catch on Draconis actually, and now Draconis is in trouble. He has Cataclysmic Assault in 3 seconds. It's not going to matter though. He will fall, so will Empath, of course, as she comes out of Draconis. Hatcher coming out for Slicks actually. This is going to go for a quad kill. Tempest will fall. Not going to be a quad kill, but for the team, they do clean up. I still feel, though, tdM could be happy with that exchange in the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They got a range racks up top. They got the melee bottom. And, they are down a considerable amount of experience, but their pushing power is just way too strong with Empath inside Draconis and having that Savage Mace. And Torture getting picked off, and he's the one with all the support items. He has the push tablet. He has the Storm Spirit. He's the one that does not need to be up front. And him getting picked off makes a huge problem for Stay Green. Even with the token of life on the Slicks, and even with the token of life on the Slicks, he dies so damn fast. He dies so fast, not having any mitigation of magic damage whatsoever. Not even investments.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Torture in the middle end, actually. Ophelia running into him. Torture doesn't have any really mana currently. There's a couple of Energizers going off, one from either team, trying to chase down Ophelia, but she will escape. However, it looks like Stay Green will be able to at least pick off an outer tower here. Will they? It's going to be close. Ophelia's nearby, going to go for the deny. Not going to happen. Ophelia takes the chain reactions. And Pharaoh will initiate, or excuse me, not Pharaoh, but Parasite will initiate. He wants the kill. A couple more auto attacks as the Astrolabe, though. And no, and always going balls to the wall. The portal key for this is Storm Spirit using Ophelia. Insania, I think your run is over. Has an infest in 9 seconds. Going back in once again, but just cannot kill her. Down goes Parasite. You really got to scratch your head on that one. That was a big-time tunnel vision kill by Insania. Did not work out, though, and in a sense kind of gave them a kill. So kind of unfortunate there. But again, they got a tower. So the stats do say that Stay Green's in the lead, but you look at both the bottom and the top lane, and you kind of second-guess yourself here.
Yeah, and they can just keep marching up here, I feel. They can just keep marching up mid, bottom, wherever they want to, and the fights will just get easier. You have 4 buyouts used by Stay Green. So the gold lead is, even though it's small for them, it's still kind of skewed just a little bit because of that. And you have the big ultimate and tons of farm on the Zai specifically. Look at that. Null Stone now. So now Parasite can no longer cancel that ultimate.
Oh, the tablet for it, another Torture trying to get to a great wall from Finsky. Another tablet, but he goes in opposite direction. Storm Spirit going to be used trying to help save, and Draconis is dropping somewhat despite the Shrunken Head. In jumps Wretched Hag, actually. The Shrunken Head is still up, though. Of course, Torture getting caught, and again, Torture will fall without doing a whole lot, honestly. Pharaoh is going to be starting to be picked off, though, despite that Barbed Armor being up. Silhouette chasing, but Silhouette, what were you thinking? Slicks is in trouble. Slicks will fall. And he does have a buyback, I'm guessing. Does he? 1900 gold? Yep. Yes, he does. That will be the final buyback. In fact, there you go. He uses it right there. Torture also has a buyback. They're probably going to have to. I mean, they really don't have a choice, do they? There we go. Torture by the way. The Tempest ultimate catches them immediately. Here comes a Cataclysmic Assault. And look at Silhouette just melt like she's nothing. Aluna falls. Parasite going to go down. And I think we are going to a Game 3, Ralph. Trademark Esports is just a little bit too strong. And no concede just yet, so it ain't official, I guess. It's actually Case who picks up a hat trick. We'll clean it up. I mean, it prevents the tower from falling even, so never mind. I guess I got a little bit too ahead of myself. But, okay, wow. The game is still going. Case is 23, by the way. Wow.
Yeah, well,
A lot of solo experience.
he does have a lot of a solo experience right there. And you have two buyouts, or you have no more buyouts, though, on Torton and Slicks. And I have to agree with you. That fight looked like it was going heavily in favor of tdM. Setting it up, starting it off with this Tempest ultimate, hitting 2. It could not be countered. It could not be stopped. And then Draconis just doing so much damage with Empath inside of him. Specifically to that Silhouette. Again, he has no magic mitigation whatsoever. And he doesn't even really have... I'm going to check his armor. I don't think he has really that high armor. 13.1 armor. So he's not even really doing anything against the auto attacks of Draconis as well. Wretched Hag trying to pummel in some auto attacks into the tower. He's going to have to leave here in a second, though. Any second, as he's still tanking it. All right.
Okay, that was close. Pharaoh actually ports in. Here's a Wrath of the Pharaoh.
Oh!
Wow! That was very close. That would have been a kill, and Casey would have been like, damn it. That would have sucked. But no, he gets away. Okay. Again, I apologize. The game is not over just yet. I did get a little bit too ahead of myself, apparently. But, well, after that fight, clearly it's heavily in favor of Trademark Esports. Now, stay green because of the lack of buybacks, especially. You got Torture and Silhouette out of buyback, so obviously they're just investing all their gold now into just items at this point. In fact, a Void Talisman just purchased there by Torture. He's just trying his best to stay alive to have an impact in these fights, but again, it does seem like it has been struggling, unfortunately. But once again, Trademark Esports, they're going to group up here and make a push. Stay green. They're off to the sides. They're going to try to maybe make a big catch right here. Here we go. In fact, there's a jump with the trigger grapple. In comes Torture as well. That chain reaction. Empath will fall. Draconis still doing plenty of damage, though. The Cataclysmic Assault, man. It is just too much damage. Silhouette, she just melts right there. Aluna is going to fall. Okay, I think it's safe to say that's the game now. Neither one of those can buy back. Aluna goes down. Expect to see the concedes coming out. There's a GG being called. We are going to a third and final game, ladies and gentlemen, between Trademark Esports and Stay Green here in the Winners Bracket Finals. Boy, oh boy. Can't say I'm too surprised, honestly, but
Yeah.
man, Trademark Esports, Draconis specifically, that hero, those 3 items, Shrunken Head, Nullstone, Savage Mace.
Yeah, he was definitely dishing out lots of damage. And then, of course, the Empath inside of him was assisting in that. But namely, Zai was the player of that game for me. Starting off in mid lane by getting that double tap, which was initially a gank onto him, and turn around in a big way. And just had some amazing farm on the solo mid Tempest. So he played really well. But also, ultimately, it was just pickoffs that happened onto SG that really shouldn't have happened. Specifically, Torture got picked off a number of times, despite having the amazing start that he had. And even Slicks getting picked off a lot himself. And I think his item builds, honestly, are just really bad sometimes, like to be frank. And I really feel like he could have got a Shrunken Head, and just on top of that, his farm was not where it needed to be. It seemed like it kept going down when it should have been going up. So, but you can attest that to the good aggressive play that tdM was playing with by trying to constantly push up the lanes and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, Slicks is usually a player we get plenty of praise to for good reason, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. I mean, this is just one of those games where you really kind of look at it, it's like, and it's not like we're just saying this in hindsight now. You specifically, you were making the points all throughout that game. So, well, again, in the end, though, as an observer, as a spectator, we're going to a Game 3, and that's a cool thing between Trademark Esports and Stay Green. So we have the Winners Bracket Finals, ladies and gentlemen. Who will advance on to the Grand Finals, being up 1-0 in the Grand Finals as a result of this in the Best of the 5 series? I mean, it really sets you up to win it all, of course. Who will be knocked down to the losers bracket? Well, we got Game 3 coming up shortly, guys. Sit tight. We'll be right back.